Hi, I'm Sandi Genovese, and we're going to be creating a heart mobile today because Valentine's Day is approaching. I thought it would be fun to make some kind of a Valentine that was a little bit unique. So I've created this heart as a mobile. Now, I have it sitting on a stand so that you can see all these layers, all the dimensionality. And these are just different nested layers that are interlocked together. And then the whole thing is just hung with some red and white striped baker's twine. But the fun thing is, when you want to, if you want to take it and put it in the mail, these will all flatten out like this so that you can place it into an A7 envelope. The dimensions of this envelope, it's 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. And it will accommodate the heart mobile that we're going to make today so that you could slide the whole thing in, put the cord down, seal it up, send it in the mail, and you have a really kind of a cool Valentine. But in order for us to actually make it, I'm going to stick him back up. It's an easy thing to pull these layers back apart so that you get the dimensionality from when these layers are twisting and turning. It's just so cool. In order for this to happen, I've created a pattern that you can just download. Here is what the pattern looks like, and it's a series of 4 different hearts. You can see I actually started with this Mrs. Grossman's heart sticker, and I used this kind of as my guide for the shape of the hearts. So if I take and I used this one to cut a sort of a lighter pink heart, a brighter pink dotted heart was used for this. I used red paper for this one, and then some pattern paper for this one. So you're going to use the pattern to cut out those hearts. It's important, the different layers are going to be attached to each other. They're going to have to curl in order to interlock with the next layer. So it's important that the grain of your paper is always such that they curl this way. And let me show you what I mean. I've cut one of the hearts out, and I want for it to curl like this so that it can slide into the next heart and then open back up once the slits are all arranged. So you want to take your paper, and if I go this way, this is fighting the grain. It folds because this isn't particularly thick paper, but it's when you go this way, it folds, it curls much easier. Especially if you're using thicker paper, you can always tell right away which way the grain is just by attempting to curl it. So you want to attach all of the hearts so that they will curl like this, because that makes it easier to attach them. When we put all the layers together and assemble it, you'll see what I mean. What you want to do is put adhesive, or you can even staple, but you want it to be behind the areas that you're going to cut out, and that way you don't have anything that's messed up. So if I turn this over, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive in what will be the middle section and the outside corners that I know I'm going to just cut off. And I'm going to go ahead and position it over the red paper once again so that it curls this way. Then you're going to go ahead and just cut it with scissors around the outside edge with an X-Acto knife, make a slit, and go ahead and cut inside the interior area as well. I'm not going to stop to take the time to do that because I've actually already cut it out. So here are the various layers. Once they've been cut out, it is important that your paper have a pattern on both sides, unless you want white to be, if the background is white and you want white as part of your color scheme, then that's great. But both sides of this are going to show. So I'm going to start with this one, and this little pink guy is going to nest inside here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to curl it up almost as if I were curling it around a pencil. I'm going to slide this in like so and curl this just a little bit, which allows that bottom slit. Then for the next slit, I'm going to just curl this just a little bit so that I can attach those. So now I have the 2 layers interlocked. You can see why it's important that the front and the back side of the paper is both designed in a color or a pattern, a scheme that you want. Then I need to start attaching into this heart the next one. This one was wrapping paper, and I love that it's got the pattern on both sides, and it's so thin. It doesn't need to be thick. In fact, the thinner paper I think moves in the breeze easier. So I'm going to just curl it like so, which will allow me to position it so that I can lock in the bottom, curl it again so that I can slide it into the top, and I now have 3 layers. Actually, sometimes I think maybe this is good right there, but I decided to do 1 more layer. And of course, the next layer I cut out of thick cardstock, which is not the easiest to curl. But as long as you make sure that it will curl with the grain, I'm going to curl it like this so that I can slide it into that little baby heart opening. Like so. So you can see that it's attached now into this opening. So every one of these interior hearts can swivel as well. You have all of this just fun dimensionality and surprisingly easy. And once you've done the heart with the pattern, you might want to play with other shapes because you can nest any shape. So I'll just take baker's twine. I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'll take the 2 ends together at the bottom, and just with my fingers, I'm just going to pull them through into a knot. So I have a knot. I've got now a loop, and I'm going to take this loop and thread it through the little diamond-shaped opening in the pattern. Bring this back through like so, and when I pull it, you can see how quickly and easily you've created a really fun heart mobile that will become dimensional or can be flattened out so that you can send it through the mail. And hopefully once you've done one, you can play with the idea, and just in terms of putting nesting shapes so that the slits inside will accommodate the next layer, you can see how you could do this with stars, you could do this with any number of different shapes. You know, a heart mobile is easy to send through the mail, and it's a great way to give a loving message to a special friend.